Hey guys, welcome back for another one. Today we're going to make some French bread. So I'm going to bring you along with how I do mine. These are the ingredients that you're going to need. I've got everything sectioned off over here. This cup is so that I can do my yeast bomb. In which to do a yeast bomb, just do a little bit of warm water, some sugar, and your yeast. Let it sit in the cup. You'll see it start activating. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Start getting everything mixed together. I'll bring you guys back here in just a minute once I get that done. The water I'll be using, a bucket to put it in, my rolling pin, and so forth. I'll bring you guys back here in just a minute. Alright guys, we're doing the yeast bomb. I threw a little bit of sugar in there. I'm going to put some water in there. Then I'm going to rip this package of yeast open. I'm going to put it in there, mix it all together, and I'll bring you back here in just a second once I've done that. Alright, so I got the yeast in there, sugar in the water, give it a little stir. Let it do its thing here in just a few minutes. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put in some flour, salt, rest of the sugar into the bowl, get it all mixed in, get the rest of the water in there too, get ready for the yeast bomb. I'll show you guys that here in just a minute. I'm not going to put all 6 or 7 cups of flour. I'm going to do about 4.5 to 5 and then add a little bit more as it goes. That'll bring you back here in just a minute. 2.5 cups of flour in there. We'll go ahead and dump our sugar in. Go ahead and dump our salt in. The rest of our water. We'll mix this up and wait for our yeast bomb to finish activating. Dump that in here, mix it in, and add a little bit more flour as needed. I'll bring you guys back here in just a few minutes once I get this mixed in and the yeast bomb has activated. Alright guys, I got that mixed in. As you can see, our yeast bomb is starting. So we'll go ahead and mix this in. And we'll go ahead and mix the rest of this in, add a little bit more flour, and go on to the next step. I'll bring you guys back here in just a few minutes once I get this mixed in. Alright guys, so I got all 5 cups of flour in here now. I'm going to go ahead and finish mixing this in together, see if I need to add any more. I'll bring y'all back here in just a minute if I do. Alright guys, so I am going to need a little bit more flour. So I got some more here. I'll just sprinkle a little more in. I'll mix that in and I'll bring you guys back here in just a minute when we move on to the next step of kneading the dough. Alright guys, so when you get to the point to where it's all clumping together, you might as well just dump it out on the counter, throw some flour out there, and start the kneading process. I'll show you that in just a second. Alright, so now for the fun part. Now for the kneading. We're going to do this for about 10-15 minutes till it gets a sponge-like consistency. It'll have a little spongy bounce. And I'll show you that once I get that far. I'll go ahead and start the kneading with this. To do the kneading, you just tuck and roll. You're going to do this for about 10-15 minutes. Not exactly so easy to do with one hand. So I'll bring you back here in just a few minutes once I get the kneading done. Alright. Alright, so I've been kneading the dough here for about 10 or 15 minutes. It has that sponge-like bounce. See it coming back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let this rise. I'll go ahead and put it in the bowl with a warm towel over it. Let it rise for about a half hour, 45 minutes. Break it out. Go ahead and do the process again. Cut it into the loaves or the little balls to put into the containers and put in the refrigerator and let it rise for 24 hours in the refrigerator. If you were going to make bread today, you could go ahead and cut it in the loaves after it rises for about a half hour. And then let that rise for a little longer and throw it in the oven. We're going to make dough balls. Put it in the refrigerator, let it rise, and we're going to make some French bread tomorrow. So I'll bring you all back here in just a few minutes once this has sat in the bowl and risen for a bit. Boink. So I put it in the oven with a towel over it. It's a little chilly here in Florida right now. I'll bring y'all back here in a few minutes after that's done rising. Alright guys, so it's been about an hour. Let's go ahead and pull this out. Alright. So we'll go ahead and dump this out on the counter. We'll get it sectioned off into our balls. Put them in our container. Put them in the refrigerator, let them rise for another day. I don't know, I might make a loaf today. I think I might. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so give me a minute. Let me get this spread out here on the counter. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and spread it out. Alright. I'll just take a rolling pin. Go ahead and roll this out. Just rolling all this out. That way we can shape it into our dough balls and get them in the container and let them rise in the refrigerator for another day. Alright, I think that's good. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll just get a plastic knife. And I'm going to cut it in half, I think. Maybe I'll do thirds. Yeah, I'll do thirds. There we go. Okay, there's one. There's 2 and 3. Alright, so we got these 3 on there. I'll go ahead and get these tightened up and get them put in the containers. And we'll get them ready for tomorrow. And I'll bring you guys back if I decide to cook one tonight. But I think that's going to be about the end of it until we decide to cook them. Alright guys, I'll see y'all next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright guys, so I decided to go ahead and make some. Got the other 2 loaves in there. I'm going to get this on some parchment paper. Get it ready for the oven. Alright guys, so I got things cleaned up. Went ahead and got this thrown on some parchment paper. Thrown on my little rack there. I'll let it rise a little bit more while I get the oven preheated. Then I'll do an egg wash on it. And I'll throw it in the oven. And of course I'll bring you back for the egg wash here in just a little bit after this rises. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and get an egg wash on this and get it in the oven. Egg wash, you just do about a tablespoon of water per 1 egg, and then you're just going to brush it on there. And that's all there is to it. Then we'll give it a couple slashes on the top, and we'll get it in the oven. Then I'll bring you guys back here in just a minute when I'm put in the oven. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get it in the oven. And I'll bring you back once I pull it out. She's going to go in the oven for about 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. I'll check it in about 25 and see how it's doing. Alright, my whole house smells like French bread. Looks like we're done. Let me get this pulled out of here, and I'll show you how to check it. Well, at least how I check it and see if it's done. That's how I was taught. Alright, so we got this loaf out. I'll flip it over, and then give it a thump on the bottom. If it sounds hollow, she's done. If it doesn't, it's not. This one is done. As you can see, that the egg wash gives it a nice brown top. So alright guys, well, that's going to be the French loaf. Tell me how you did yours. Tell me what you think. Tell me how yours turned out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. So you didn't think I'd go without showing you how it turned out, did you? Oh yeah.